Hi, I'm Sierra Morris and this is Checkin' the Chicks. In this video, I'll be talking about 7 tips for your first winter with chickens, or if you're an experienced chicken owner, this will just be a winter refresher. The fall season is here. Leaves are dropping and harvest and preserving efforts are in full swing. Although winter isn't here yet, there are some important things you can do right now to set you and your flock up for a healthy and safe winter ahead. If you're a new chicken owner and you haven't already done so yet, be sure that you pick up at least one beginner poultry care guide. Any book will do. I don't even care which one. Just make sure you have at least one chicken care book on hand for those times when it might not be possible to look up information online. Those guides, those beginner care books, are so essential to setting you up with some great habits to start. I'll drop information about my 2 favorite beginner guides below in the description notes. I'm not affiliated with the publishers or authors of these books in any way, but just it's great to have good chicken information on hand. You can get books about chickens from your local library. Farm box stores also have surprisingly great selections of books about chicken care. Be sure to pick up at least one of these guides, especially if it's your first winter with chickens. Tip number 1. Now is the time to do a deep seasonal clean. While the weather is still cooperating, now is the time to do that deep clean of your coop, run, and your chicken accessories. Refresh your ground cover litter as needed. Refresh your nest box lining. Clean your roosts and perches. Remove droppings from your chicken area. This time of year, I also scrub and clean as many surfaces in my chicken area as I can. Clean and refresh food and water dispensers. I spray an all-natural Castile soap mixture as my perimeter spray and my cleaning spray to reduce insects and deter pests. This spray is also great to use in dusty or hard-to-reach areas of your chicken coop that you might not necessarily be able to wipe down. Be sure to only use all-natural gentle cleaners in your chicken area. Never use harsh chemicals or artificially scented things. If you're expecting freezing temperatures in your area, don't introduce moisture into your coop and run because this contributes to the conditions that cause frostbite. That's why doing this deep seasonal clean now, before freezing temperatures are here, is so important. Tip number 2. Check your infrastructure and fencing for signs of damage or needed repairs. Examine your chicken infrastructure. Replace any roofing, boards, or elements of your chicken structures that require repair. Look for signs of digging or damage to the walls and perimeter of your chicken housing. Seal up holes, cracks, or gaps in your chicken housing. Walk the fencing of your chicken area if that applies to you. Remove excess overgrowth near your chicken structures which can harbor pests. Predator pressure increases during the winter time as natural food sources become more scarce, forcing predators to become even more brazen in their quest for food for survival. Make your chicken area less appealing with sound maintenance. Needed maintenance and repair can be imperative for the protection of your backyard flock. I created a really detailed video about all the methods I know to protect backyard chickens from predators, and I'll go ahead and put that in the description for this episode as well. Tip number 3. Add additional perches and roosts. During the wintertime, many flocks are going to be spending more time in confinement. For flocks that live in confinement full-time, adequate perching and roosting space is especially essential. You can add additional roosts and perch constructed from 2x4s or scrap lumber, use large fallen tree branches, or other chicken-safe objects for your flock to perch on. Be sure to sand off any sharp or protruding edges on new roosts to protect your chickens' feet from injury. Giving your chickens adequate perches and roosts allows them to get up off the ground, and these roosts need to be large enough so that they can actually sit on them comfortably and cover their feet with their feathers. This is how they keep their feet warm during the wintertime. So those additional perches and roosts not only help combat boredom, but they also help them regulate their body temperature when the temperatures are going to be plummeting outside. So those perches and roosts are important for multiple reasons. Tip number 4. Start thinking ahead about your water plan. If you live in an area that experiences freezing temperatures like we do in the winter, start thinking now about how you will provide your flock with fresh water during the wintertime. Whether you're going to be using a heated livestock water bowl or manually refreshing their water several times during the day, now is the time to strategize and acquire any additional equipment you might need. Provide your flock with grit and calcium supplement. With their chances to forage reduced by extreme winter weather, your flock is going to benefit from access to these very important supplements. Chickens can naturally find grit if they have access to fresh pasture and forage. For many, this isn't possible during the winter, my flock included. Grit helps your chickens digest their food and avoid health conditions like sauerkraut. Calcium is important for strong eggshells and healthy feathers. Offer your flock grit and calcium supplement in a free choice container separate from their food, and refresh it as needed. Tip number 6. Acquire winter gear for yourself. Caring for chickens is a 365-day-a-year commitment. In extreme weather, even modest chicken care chores can seem much more difficult. Make sure you have appropriate winter clothing and gear for yourselves to stay safe and comfortable when you're caring for your chickens in the wintertime. At minimum, you'll want sturdy, weatherproof boots just for livestock use, a winter-appropriate coat, a hat, and gloves. Since these items will get spoiled in the course of caring for your chickens, you'll want a set of winter items separate from the ones that you wear in public. Many of these items can be found in thrift stores, secondhand stores, and consignment stores. Look for sales and discounts now, as the price of these items typically goes up during the wintertime. Tip number 7. Have extra chicken supplies on hand. The winter season in our region is actually pretty extreme, enough so that at least once during the winter my family will be genuinely snowed in at some point and unable to safely travel for several days. Winter storms also bring things like unsafe driving conditions and power outages. To what extent is practical and appropriate for your situation, have at least one extra of your most essential chicken supplies on hand. Things like your chosen chicken feed or a bag of your ground cover litter. Having these emergency backups in place prior to extreme winter weather coming to your region is a small but extremely effective thing you can do to set you and your flock up for a safe and happy winter season. Another important thing to note about winter chicken care is that the vast majority of chicken breeds do not require any supplemental heat during the winter. As long as your chickens are dry, protected from the elements, meaning wind and precipitation, they have sanitary conditions, adequate roosting and perching space, and access to food and water. If their basic needs are being met, they're going to be fine. If you have ornamental chickens or young chicks and you do feel like supplemental heat is necessary, use a safe alternative like a wall-mounted panel heater. Do not, under any circumstances, put a heat bulb in your coop. These are not intended for that use. Those light bulbs become encrusted with dust and they cause coop fires. They are an extreme fire hazard, so do not put a heat bulb lamp in your coop. Your chickens really don't need it. As long as they are kept dry and safe, they're going to be fine. You'll see in our coop setup that we do have the wall-mounted panel heaters. I do have ornamental chickens, and because of the winter extremes in my area, that additional heat source is necessary for the specific breeds that I have in my flock. We've had very positive experiences with the wall-mounted panel heaters. They're safe, your chickens can't hurt themselves on the heaters themselves, and they're not a fire hazard. So if you do feel like supplemental heat is necessary, we've had really positive experiences with the wall-mounted panel heaters. But again, that's not going to be necessary for every flock. If you don't have ornamental breeds or young chicks, you probably don't need any additional heat source. As long as your chicken's basic needs are going to be met, they're going to get through the winter just fine. I hope this video provided you with some good information about how to prepare for the coming winter season and things that you can do right now to help set you and your flock up for a successful season ahead. Even though winter isn't here yet, now is the time to start getting ready so that your chickens are in the best position possible when the winter finally does arrive. If you like videos about backyard chickens and homesteading, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We would love to have you as part of our flock. Thank you to all of my subscribers. I'm grateful for every single one of you. Thank you for being here and helping me build this amazing backyard chicken and homesteading community. We can all learn and grow together here and share lots of great information about how to keep our chickens and our homesteads running smoothly and safely in every season. So thank you so much for being here. You guys are awesome. Lots of love from our coop to yours. See you next time.